What is up, guys? It is Vertigo, and welcome back to Yarnham. We got a lot to get through today, so I want to go ahead and get a jump on it. We were just at the side area where we fought those two big guys, and we are now moving into a different part of Yarnham completely. You can see there are cages of dogs back here. Yes, it is an extremely unpleasant task to kill dogs in cages. Unfortunately, these aren't friendly dogs. Otherwise, I would happily avoid doing it. Over here, we have our first kind of like non-hostile NPC encounter. Hey, listen, lady. Am I? Fuck off. I hate this lady. I swear. Get out of here. I hate talking to her. So she was asking about a safe place, if I knew of any. Because she says, like as she said, she's heard, wow, why am I having so much trouble with this? Wow, that was poor. She's heard that sometimes staying indoors isn't always enough to survive the hunt, and that is a largely accurate assessment on her part, so, you know, good for her. But right now, we don't know of any places where one could hide from the hunt. So we're in an overhead rafter area. There's no tightrope walking here. We do have oh, that was poor on my part. Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised I survived that. In Dark Souls, I would have been flatter than a pancake by now. So that was pretty poor on my part. You can cut the ropes on those corpses and they'll let down items that you can then retrieve. One of my favorite items in the game is retrieved by doing that. Madman's Knowledge. Alright, that was definitely worth the trip down here. I completely forgot that was here. Madman's Knowledge is going to increase our insight. We'll look at it once I reach a good turnaround point, because we need a lantern so we can go back to the dream and restart our journey. But Madman's Knowledge is going to give us insight, and oh, hi. Insight is going to allow us to access the real things in the dream, if that like makes sense. Not that everything, I'm not implying what's real and what isn't real, like in terms of it being a dream, because truthfully I still haven't like really formulated a full-on hypothesis around that, but we'll be able to access the more useful services within the dream. Soon as we're able to get back, but I do want to get back and work on getting those items that are in the rafters. Speaking of rafters, there are more of those down here, although you don't have to cut anything for them. Something here. Oh god, I forgot. There's another one. Alright. So carefully, nice. Got a bone shard, nice. Always good to have some of those on hand. Nowhere to go but down. Some vial up again. Oof. Gotta love those things. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and climb this ladder. Whew, boy. So, how's your guys' day going? Alright. So we are, oh, perfect. I wanted to come here eventually. I just kind of forgot how to get here, but we have more Madman's knowledge now. So that'll open up, that'll increase our insight. We'll be able to do a little more. We got a big guy over here. What up, dude? I have been practicing a little bit. I'm not quite back to where I was, but I am getting there. Some shining coins. I think those kind of have the same use as the shiny stones. Yeah, let me in. I hate people. The people of Yarnham deserve this curse. They're such douchebags. But anyway, this is going to bring us... Yep. So, let me pull this lever. This has brought us back to that courtyard where we fought the first batch of crows, and there's that big guy off to the side. So let's go ahead and talk to this nice household. Are you saying I smell? Oh, how can I refuse such an innocent girl? Alright, so we got a bit of info there. That little girl asked us to help find her parents. A task which, how could I refuse? Little girl needs help. VertX gotta come to the rescue. Can you stop barking and just move? Oh god. I'm gonna need to blood vial in a second. There we go. Alright. God, I hate these guys. Even though the mob tactics are like no different than in Bloodborne as they were in Dark Souls, I have such a struggle like dealing with Bloodborne. Alright. Anyway, so the girl asked us to find her parents. Yo, come on, dog. Nice. Alright. Got the visceral. Wow, that didn't do nearly as much as I would have liked. Alright, come on. The girl asked us to find her mother. She said her mother left the house to go find her father, who said never came back from the hunt, so presumably her father is a hunter. Oh, hey, what's up? And her mother was supposed to have taken this music box that they play for their father whenever he forgets them, which is kind of a scary situation in of itself, which means their father like routinely forgets who they are, and that music box is how they, God, I'm drenched in blood. The music box is how they kind of bring him back to them. Which is pretty scary. That's a pretty like unnerving situation. You know what, we're gonna go ahead and press forward. I've been trying to figure out how I want to do this. We're actually gonna go ahead and take on our first boss fight. Yo, let me go. Give me some blood back. Oh, I thought he grabbed me. was about to say, I don't remember those guys being able to grab. So we're going to be on the lookout for a woman who is looking for her husband, who is a hunter, presumably. Alright, let's go ahead and proceed through these doors up here. Ha, not really. We're going to fight this thing, this writhing monstrosity. Oh god. Typically, the cleric beast is not a threat to me. However, considering I'm so rusty, he may very well be. Especially if I'm going to try and go blow for blow with him. Yeah, I definitely need to, like, get my act together. 'Cause I am not... Oh god. Yep, I've been grabbed. Don't bite me, please. Okay. I gotta get my act together. Alright, you go do what you gotta do. I'm gonna blood vial. Oh god. Damn. I hate when they go up in the air like that. It makes it so hard to track them. Alright. So this fight... Oh, you know what I forgot? We were able to summon assistance for this fight. And I completely forgot it. Let's blood vial again. Oh well. Like I said, cleric beasts typically considered a pretty weak boss. I am just not in the form that I was when I first played the game. And I am not doing nearly as much damage as I thought I would be. Wow, why did my health get so low? I don't remember my health getting that low. It probably also would have been a better idea to go back to the dream and level up now that we have some insight. But, oh well, who has time for logic like that? The fight's not going poorly. I'm just not, like, in form. Like, I'm pretty sure, I believe by now, at this point in my first fight with the cleric beast, I had killed it. And right now we're only at half health. That said, I'm taking out chunks fairly quickly. Especially with that fully charged R2, I'm able to take off a really big chunk of his health if I'm able to connect with both swings. I keep thinking when he like kneels and bleeds like that, I can visceral him. That doesn't appear to be the case. But nevertheless, the cleric beast is dead at last. It's the same strategy for any other big boss. And I got the sword hunter badge, so that's useful. It's the same strategy for any other big boss. Stay by his base and just wail on him whenever you can. For a lot of enemies in Bloodborne, you're going to find that retreating and playing defensively isn't going to help you. This is a game that promotes aggression and brutality. So that's defense isn't what you want to play for here. But nevertheless, we defeated the cleric beast. I didn't even have to use the madman's insight that we acquired. But now that we have some time, we're going to look at some of the stuff. So we have this music box. A small music box received from a young Yarnham girl plays a song shared by her mother and father. Inside the lid is a small scrap of paper, perhaps an old message. Two names can be made out, however faintly, Viola and Gascoigne. We also have this madman's insight. Skull of a madman touched by the wisdom of the great ones. Making contact with eldritch wisdom is a blessing, for even if it drives one mad, it allows one to serve a grander purpose for posterity. So essentially, it's the skull of someone who was like blessed by a higher power or like visited by a higher power, and the skull or the knowledge that was given to them caused them to go insane, and well, presumably their skull burst open, as you can see. We also got some online stuff now. This is the beckoning bell. Its ring resonates across worlds, and the first hunters used it as a special signal to call hunters from other worlds to cross the gap and cooperate. Essentially, it is a call for cooperation, and it can act to summon other hunters to help with battle. We also have the silencing blank, which ends the ring of the beckoning bell, and it will cease, and it will return anyone you currently have to their homeworld, and also prevents them from summoning again. What else do we have to look at? Oh, we have a couple badges now. The Saw Hunter badge attests to one prowess as a hunter of beasts. The workshop is gone, and no group recognizes this meaningless badge except the messengers in the bath, who understand its profundity. Certain things can only be entrusted with a hunter in possession of this badge, or so they believe. And we also have the Sword Hunter badge, one of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The silver sword is a symbol of a church hunter. Ludwig was the first of many Healing Church hunters to come, many of whom were clerics. As it was, clerics transformed into the most hideous beasts. So we kind of get our taste into the first of the several factions we have here. There's the workshop, which is home to the hunters, and the Healing Church, which is home to the church hunters. And we'll delve a lot more into the lore of the Healing Church and the hunters later on in the game. Additionally, we received some insight for both seeing and defeating the cleric beast, and as a result, we can now see our doll in her living form. So this is our doll. She's essentially our Emerald Herald, our Firekeeper, our Bonfire. She is our maiden. She stays in the dream and acts as our way of leveling up and increasing our strength. So she gave us a little insight on Gehrman there, basically saying that Gehrman can't be seen in the world of the Awoken, and exists only in this dream to help new hunters along with their journey. Before we level up, I want to look around at what has been unlocked for us in the bath. The bath messengers will acquire new equipment depending on what kind of badges you have. So like now they've added antidote, bold hunter's marks, which I actually might grab a couple of. They also have a lantern, which acts as a hands-free light source, which I like to have on hand, so I will be keeping that. So now we don't need to use one of our hands to carry a torch, and instead we just have a lantern to do it for us. It's not quite as bright, but it's better than nothing. So this is the Chief Hunter emblem, a cloth emblem that belongs to the captain of the church hunters long ago, opens the main gate that leads to the round plaza of the Grand Cathedral. The main gate is shut tight on nights of the hunt and can only be opened from the other side with this emblem. In other words, the captain's return and this emblem determine the end of the hunt. So this is kind of like a Crest of Artorias gimmick, as opposed to Dark Souls 1. Later on in the game, we will be able to use this emblem to proceed, but if I recall, we don't quite need it. So I'm not going to invest in it just yet. We have all the weapons of the hunters available to us, as well as the saw spear. We can get the saw spear in the outside world. The saw spear is my weapon. It is my favorite weapon in the game, hands down. We also have the Kirk hammer available to us. It's a pretty unique weapon. It has a blade in one end, and the sheath is a huge hammer. So it can act as a nimble longsword or a heavy-handed hammer. We also have the repeating pistol available to us now. It's basically just it fires 2 bullets at once. So it eats up your silver bullets a lot faster, but it does double the damage. We have the Yarnham garb, which I might get in a little bit, but right now it's not a huge deal. And that's it for now. The other place we're able to look in now is the Insight Bath, which can only be accessed if you have 1 insight. And it requires insight to be able to use it. There's nothing really available, there's nothing really useful in it to us now. I am going to take the small resonant bell, however. And it also unlocks the sinister resonant bell, which I will also purchase. And basically that's going to allow us to aid hunters in other worlds. So I might play around with that a bit. But for now, I'm going to level up, and that's going to do it for today. Alright, so before we do that, let's go ahead and look at this. So if you look at the stats on our weapon, the Hunter's Axe, if you look down where it says attribute bonus, it has a D next to the arm, which is for strength, and an E next to the hand, which is for dexterity. There are 4 stats that affect weapon ability: strength, dexterity, blood tinge, and arcana. Or arcane, I don't know. I think it's arcana. I don't know. Yeah, it's arcane. And the higher the letter, E, D, C, B, A, or S, the more that stat impacts your weapon's damage. So we are going to want to up our strength, and that's going to increase our damage. So you can see where it says right hand weapon 1, that's our Hunter's Axe. For each point of strength we put into it, it gets blue, which means it's gone up. So let's go ahead and raise that to 20. Maybe not that high. What is it now? 11? Let's put it up to 16, and then we'll put some points in vitality and endurance. And that'll help us be a little more durable, be able to attack more, and also do more damage. And that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the adventure. On the next episode, we're going to do a little more exploring, find some of the hidden items in Yarnham, and also defeat our next boss, hopefully. Until then, drop me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Have an awesome day, guys. Peace out.